Welcome to Dark Whispers. Tonight, we journey to a place where silence screams louder than the dead. A place that time desperately tried to erase, the abandoned St. Mary's Hospital in New Jersey. The story begins on a cold, fateful night in 1973. A massive fire swept through the hospital, leading to its permanent closure. Officially, it was a tragic accident. But whispers in the dark tell a different, more sinister tale. They say the fire was no accident at all. It was a cover-up. A nurse named Evelyn worked the late shift that night. She wasn't just any nurse. She was known for her unorthodox methods, performing unspeakable experiments on her most vulnerable patients, deep in the hospital's hidden wings. On the night of the fire, Evelyn vanished without a trace. Her body was never found among the ashes and rubble. Locals and authorities assume she perished in the flames, but some believe something far more chilling. They say she never left. She's still there, a spectral guardian of her dark secrets, waiting for new patients. Decades have passed, and St. Mary's has decayed into a skeletal ruin, a magnet for thrill seekers and urban explorers. Those brave or foolish enough to step inside report experiences that defy explanation. They speak of the distinct, metallic rattle of stretchers rolling down empty corridors, their wheels squeaking in a rhythm that seems almost deliberate. Faint, desperate cries for help echo from rooms that have been vacant for half a century. And perhaps most unnervingly, the soft, rhythmic hiss of oxygen tanks, long since disconnected and rusted, can be heard in the dead of night, as if someone is still breathing their last, over and over again. These aren't just random sounds. They are echoes of the suffering that's soaked into the very walls of this place. The hospital remembers its pain, and it makes sure no visitor forgets it. It's a symphony of a past that refuses to die, conducted by an unseen force. One of the most terrifying accounts comes from a group of paranormal investigators who dared to spend a night within the hospital's decaying walls. As they navigated the labyrinthine hallways, they stumbled upon a solitary patient room that felt different from the others. The air was thick and heavy, and an inexplicable cold spot hung near a single rusted bed frame. One investigator, on a dare, touched the mattress. He recoiled instantly. The bed was warm, as if someone had just been lying there moments before. As they scanned the room with their flashlights, a beam caught something on the wall above the headboard. Scrawled in what looked like ash were two chilling words: "She never left." The message was a stark, terrifying confirmation of the legends. Evelyn wasn't just a ghost story told around a campfire. She was a presence, an entity still occupying her domain, leaving her mark for anyone who dared to disturb her rest. The warmth in the bed wasn't a residual memory. It was a fresh signature. For those who seek the heart of the darkness, all paths lead to the basement. The old, rusted elevator shaft groans with the wind, a gateway to the hospital's most dreaded secrets. Down in the damp, mold-infested depths lies what locals call Evelyn's room. This wasn't a standard operating theater. It was her personal laboratory. An old, stained operating table stands in the center of the room, a silent altar to her gruesome work. The walls are scarred with deep, inexplicable burn marks, as if from intense, localized heat or energy. The air is so thick with dread, you can almost taste it. It's here that the whispers are the clearest. People who have stood in that room report a sudden drop in temperature and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. And if you dare to stand there long enough to listen past the sound of your own frantic heartbeat, you might just hear it. A soft, sibilant whisper, right behind your ear, a voice both clinical and menacing, saying, "It's time for your treatment." Today, St. Mary's Hospital is nothing more than a crumbling ruin, a hollowed-out skeleton visible from the highway. Nature is slowly reclaiming it, vines crawling through shattered windows and moss covering its grim, gray stones. But while the building may be dead, the entities within are not. They don't care about collapsing roofs or rusted-out walls. Their torment, their energy, is bound to the land itself. So, if you ever find yourself driving through the desolate backroads of New Jersey late at night, and you spot the silhouette of a hospital with no lights on, a building that seems to absorb the moonlight rather than reflect it, my advice is simple. Keep driving. Press your foot on the gas and don't look back. Because some places don't want to be found, and some doors are meant to stay closed forever. Not every building is empty, and not every nurse has left her post. You've just heard another dark whisper. If you dare to listen again, subscribe for more stories that'll haunt your sleep.